Hello and welcome everyone to a quarterfinal match between two Division One teams, UC Berkeley and UT Austin. We have $1,000 on the line as the winner of this match is guaranteed to get at least fourth place since they will be moving on to semifinals next weekend. So potentially up to $5,000 if they win their semifinals and finals match. So this is a big match here. The loser goes home, they're eliminated, and they get nothing. So this is a big stakes game here. UC Berkeley is the number 1 seed overall. UT Austin is the number 8 seed. So Berkeley is the favorite going into this. Although we have seen some upsets so far throughout the league. So you never know what's going to happen. Right now we're watching Grandmaster Ri Feng up against the 4th board for Brinnigen from Berkeley. Both players are titled. Obviously, Ri Feng a Grandmaster for Brinnigen, Ray in the 4th board, FIDE Master for Berkeley. And yeah, Berkeley is undefeated so far this season. And they're looking to continue their streak here in the playoffs. White has already castled here. Black probably going to play bishop e7 at some point and castle as well. Both sides going to be kingside, I presume. We've got all 4 games started, so they're all underway. I spelled Roland's last name correctly, which is always a plus. He's had to correct me at least like 3 times now this season, so I had to make sure it was right. Black actually not going bishop to e7, at least not yet. Going g6 first. Planning, I guess, bishop g7. So going for fianchetto and then castling. White trying to launch things open, moving the f knight out of the way to e1, and now playing f4, trying to open things up. Now, will Black castle? Or do they have something else in mind? If they take on f4, which I don't think they'll do, White can take back with the pawn or the bishop. And if they take with the bishop, it comes with a punch at the d6 pawn, also developing a piece. But I could also see them taking with the pawn. So Black does take. Now, how does White respond? Bishop takes or g takes? G takes, you maintain the pawn duo in the center. They take with the bishop, and this allows for the knight to come into e5. This helps defend the d6 pawn by blocking the bishop, as well as opening up the queen to the pawn. So the bishop just takes the knight, pawn takes. So now Black has the bishop pair. This is a check, if you ever want to insert that. If this pawn were to ever move, this knight would be hanging. So you don't want that to happen. The queen comes in with check anyways, and now Black can castle queenside if they want. They go kingside now, which makes a lot of sense. So this king's tucked away in the corner. We've got a fianchetto knight here. Normally we'd see this bishop here. Now this bishop would love to open up on the long diagonal. It's going to be difficult to do that as this pawn chain kind of closes this down. Queen steps up, connecting the rooks. King steps up. Knight now entering the center. Both knights, the bishop, the pawn, all controlling d5. So I would not be surprised to see one of these pieces landing on the d5 square. We've got some other games going on. UT Austin's board 2 here. Dachi Lin, FIDE Master of about 1800 strength. Oh, excuse me, that's their name. They're actually about 2600 strength. Playing against the board 3 from Berkeley, Josiah Sterman, International Master. He's the captain and leader of this Berkeley team. Basically the leader of the Berkeley Chess Club. Berkeley has like 6 teams registered, which is kind of crazy. Berkeley actually might have the most teams registered throughout the league. So it is a lot for him to juggle and he's doing a great job trying to lead his team to victory personally in Division 1 with the most money on the line. So right now, this knight's pinned. This knight's also pinned. So annoying knights or bishops for black. These knights feeling the wrath of the bishops. So what exactly is Josiah's response? Maybe you need bishop e2 to defend this guy. Maybe king e2. Probably definitely not that one. You can also go queen to d1 defending. Not too many other options. Josiah's thinking a lot here. Josiah decides to go d5 instead. I feel like you could take this pawn, or you could just take the knight. So taking the knight, you just win the exchange. Taking on d5, bishop takes. Maybe there's knight to c5 actually. Maybe knight c5 right away. Knight c5, knight d3. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this move, giving up the c5 square. I think Daki can put some damage on the board 3 here from Berkeley, team captain. Daki is also the captain. So right here we got both captains going at it out of the gate here in round 1. So, and there we go. Knight c5, queen back, and now taking on d5. Queen defending the knight here. This bishop's hit. Again, the knight is pinned. If the bishop moves, we could see d4. We have a result. Ladia has beaten Guillermo, the board 2 from Berkeley. Let's see, what went wrong here? Capture, capture. This king, and yeah, this. Okay, queen defends this, so knight here, and we have resignation. Oof. That is already pretty rough. Let's check in with Rui Fang and Fibrinogen. Fibrinogen seems to be up material. Up in exchange. Looking to take some pawns here now too. Daki just beat Josiah, tying it up at 1. Josiah ended up resigning early. Just going down a piece. Here we have the 4th game. This is the top board from Berkeley, FIDE Master Dragon, Roland Fang, who, like I said, I made sure to spell his name right, as he deserves. We got Cree Rules in here as the board 4 for Awesome, 2200. Up a little bit of time. But using it at the moment. Queen and rook doubled on the C file. Alright, so black's pushing the outside pass pawn. White's trying to get a queen trade. Black denies the queen trade. Refang up a bit of time, about 45 seconds. Queen in, a little pressure on the rook. Can we keep pushing the pawn a3? There it is, a3. Keep pushing. If black could just get rid of this pawn, the bishop would be guarding the promotion square. That is a lot easier said than done. That's why you can't just capture your own material. Bishop takes pawn. Imagine if that was legal or allowed. So yeah, here, black is trying to distract the e-pawn such that their e-pawn can advance. So white is sure not to trade. In fact, it's trying to get the queens off the board. Queen takes, there's rook takes. Only 40 seconds for Rifeng now. 30 seconds for his opponent. We have queen f7. Pressure here. Perhaps a capture now would make sense. Although white actually is trying to trade queens again. So maybe just trying to ignore this. Both sides now under 30 seconds. $15 seconds now. 10 seconds. They decide to trade queens. They push the a2 pawn, and e4 is going to hit next. e4 to open up the bishop. Although white can play c3, and they do that immediately. So this helps close the diagonal. Rook left trying to attack d5. Now, if the rook ever takes on d5 or goes to d5, we hang the a pawn, but we do get the d6 pawn. Rook to the 7th. Now our bishop's pinned to the king. Less than 10 seconds for Rifeng. Rook check, bishop block. Rook's doubled. Rook block. King out of the pen. Rook check, king back into the pen. Pawn push, pawn push. Both sides with the passer. White's is a bit closer. Rook behind the pawn. Rook going for the c pawn. Rook's doubled, putting the rook back on f6. There goes the e pawn now. King tries to unpin, but is constantly put back into check and back into the pin. Oh man, this is going to tie the rook down to the bishop. Bishop now trying to take here. We have another rook check. Or a pawn push. There it is. Bishop now relieved from the back rank. Rook check. King up. There's rook check. No, there's not. Okay, rook here. Kit named Dash, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Okay, bishop here instead attacking this. There's a queen on the board. Rook check. Rook check. King here. Do we take this? Now we're probably okay. That's not a skewer yet, but there's more checks. There's mate. So for Brinnigan, the board 4 from Berkeley with the upset over the board 1 from UT Austin, that's not going to bode well for the Longhorns here, for Texas. So the score is 2-1. We got 1 game left in the first round. Ooh, bishop blocking the queen. There's going to be mate here. We have promotion. Queen check looking for... Oh, there's mate. Black has mate. It doesn't matter. It's mate in 1. Rookie 1 only move. Yeah, white was trying to mate on g7, but black was too quick. So Cree rules goes down to the board 1. So 3-1 lead for Berkeley. First to 8.5 wins. And they will move on to play next weekend in the semifinals. I believe they're playing up against U Chicago, who took down Mizzou earlier today in an awesome match between two absolute heavyweight teams. Here from Rifeng playing a3b4 against Josiah. Josiah with e5 a5. Met with b5. d5 bishop to b2. I'm just going to say all the moves. No, so the bishop develops. This is very unorthodox opening here for white. I don't even know what it's called. The Polish opening? Bugayev attack. I've heard of the Polish, but not the attack. So let's see. A capture on d4. Queen takes. This pawn, very annoying, blocks in the knight. So now asking if white would like to take en passant. It's a kind gesture, saying, hey, if you take en passant, I'll just take back with the knight, no problem. So the queen's like, you know what? I don't think I'll allow that. So I'm going to leave the pawn here. No knight to c6 for you. I'm going to bring the queen over, and I'm going to threaten to take here with my bishop. Black says, go ahead, do that. I'm just going to put my bishop here. And white says, you know what? I agree. Bishop's annoying. I'm going to protect my c2 pawn and play bishop d3, threatening to take your bishop. So black's like, okay, well, let me try to offer queens real quick. I feel as though this is a free pawn. I'm not entirely sure. I guess it's not, because you're going to lose the g pawn. Now Josiah takes back the queen with his king. Queens are off the board. Josiah's not going to be castling. White, on the other hand, can castle still if they wish. Instead, they develop the piece. Very smart. Here we have 1800 strength against Fibrinogen. Let's see if Daki can take down the player that bested Rui Feng. Have I played Fortnite? Yes, I have. Why are these guys playing so late? That is a good question. Luckily for Berkeley, it is on the West Coast. I have before, bum truck. Megalodon, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. No, not really. I don't play, to be honest. I have it, though. Do you want me to stream that on, like, right now? Should I stop watching this? Now, this is the Collegiate Chess League channel, so I will be streaming Collegiate Chess League matches. What's up, Ben? Good to see you. I'm sorry about your loss today. But I do congratulate you guys on a good season, and I hope to see you guys back next year in February. Overpressed against Uni. Thanks for the stream, Megalodon. Don't thank me. Thank yourself for being here. Without you, I wouldn't be doing this. It wouldn't be worth it for me. Just kidding. For the most part. I love this, you guys. I love watching these college chess matches. I do it for the fans, for the players, the teams. Will next season have in-person matches? Likely not, no. It's very difficult to orchestrate in-person matches against teams that are so far away. So, literally, the match lasts an hour long. I think that if two teams are close in proximity, let's say U Chicago versus University of Illinois at Chicago, sure, they could play in person if they want. I think that would be fun. SLU versus Webster, both from St. Louis. Neither school in the league this season, but who knows? Maybe they'll join next season. Maybe they'll be inspired by U Chicago taking down Mizzou. They'll be inspired here today by the UC Berkeley team making it this far and now taking down Rui Feng, Grandmaster from UT Austin. Tony Gee's games? Which one is Tony? None of the players' names are Tony. You want to watch Dang Nguyen? The fourth board from UT Austin? Looks like he's losing, unfortunately. Tony's on the Berkeley B team. This is Berkeley's A team in Division 1. So Tony didn't make the cut. Let's see. This is Fibrinogen. This is the fourth board, the bottom board for UC Berkeley. So you must be at least this tall to enter. He should be on the he carries. All right. You think he would take down Rui Fang? 28-30 Grandmaster, no problem. That's what the Berkeley fourth board did that last round. To be the fourth board for UC Berkeley, you have to be expected to beat Grandmaster Rui Fang Lee from UT Austin. That is what Berkeley expects from their fourth board Division 1 A-team player. I suppose NIU and UIUC could have played OTB today, LOL. Duke versus UNC. UNC is not even in the league. Do you know any of the chess players at UNC? Because you should invite them. Are the brackets updated? Not the challenge ones, no. It's updated on the CEA site. So that's essentially what I'll be using. I should have updated. I've been lazy. But I'll do that tonight. UNC will be in next semester. That is what I love to hear. Listen, I got a lot of people in the league so far, but there's a lot more. Way more people are not in the league. The league will not stop until we have every single college in the world registered under the Collegiate Chess League. That's the kind of inspiration that I need from you guys. You guys are the best advertisement that we have. Word of mouth. The more we get our name out there, the more recognition we get, the more people to join, the bigger, the better the league will become. The more viewership we get, the more chances for advertisements, sponsorships, scholarships. This is just the beginning, you guys. We will not stop until we're getting full ride scholarships to players just to play chess for their college team. That's what we need. Your name should be Joe Bears, though. Nasty. You know, fun fact, I wanted to be a bear. I actually took a summer class in high school at UC Berkeley. So I technically was a Berkeley student for like one semester. Well, it was a summer class. I visited the Berkeley Chess Club. I've been there. I've been to a bunch of Berkeley football games. But yeah, I love UCLA. UCLA, I think I ended up being a lot happier at UCLA than I would have been at Berkeley. I hear a lot of people at Berkeley are pretty depressed. Josiah, very low on time. Josiah, the only Berkeley player to not win their first round game. And now they're playing an even more difficult opponent, Rui Fang, who lost their first game. And now he's going to take out his anger and frustration against Josiah. He's sacrificing the exchange because he knows he can play d6 next. We have a result. Ladia has taken down Cree Rules. So Ladia, 2 for 2. Cree Rules hasn't won yet, but it's going to be tough for the board 4 from UT Austin. Especially knowing that his easiest opponent is going to be Ryan Fibrinogen, the board 4, who beat their board 1. We have resignation again from Josiah. Here we got the two FIDE masters going at it. Point for Daki, who is... Or not Daki. That's a point for Rui Fang. So answering back. 2 points now for UT Austin. Here looks like Fibrinogen's low on time. Daki's got a lot of time left. Yeah, I'll be updating those brackets after this match. We will be going through. Looks like the knight can take here, no? But then also we have bishop here or something. But like, couldn't... Yeah, I actually don't understand the purpose of this. Why not just bishop here first? Did we need bishop c6? Or did we need bishop c5 before bishop c6? Although, okay. The knight was blocking the rook's defense of the pawn. So bishop to c5 distracts the knight, defends the pawn such that black can't take it. And yeah, this wins the exchange for white. So yeah, bishop c5, really, really gnarly move here from Daki. Daki up the exchange plus a pawn. Bishop here attacks the pawn. Knight here attacks and defends. So the knight moves, but now we might see this pawn push, but the bishop will come with the fork. So you don't want to do that. So these pawns are going to stay here to counteract the bishop. This pawn is going to run its way up the board. You can take on f7 with check. Yeah, that's what Daki does. And he's going to push this guy next. And that's going to be a new lady on the board. We have resignation. So Daki, 2 for 2. Trying to lead his team back. Berkeley only up by 1 point now. But they got their top board playing the board 3, Guillermo. Our match is usually rated. So they were not this season, but we learned that there can be issues with unrated matches. If you think for too long on a move, it can abort the game from you. So we've switched to rated for a couple reasons. That's the primary issue with unrated games. But also, oh, knight check, defended by the rook. So rook and knight for the queen. There's queen check. There is rook block. This rook's defended by the knight, but you do pick up the pawn. Kaisha, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Now, another reason why we want the games to be rated is because we want players' ratings to be as accurate as possible. The more rated games players play, the more truly accurate their rating will be, and therefore, the better we can put players onto teams that actually reflect the proper division they should be in. Ooh, this is going to be mate soon. Queen. Yeah, king up, queen check, king here. You get the rest. Okay, so Dragon wins, maintaining the 2-point lead for Berkeley. So Berkeley up by 2 points going into half. Here we have Rui Feng now against Ladia, who's won both their games so far. Gob ears, that's right. Roll on, you. All right, Rui Feng with the white pieces, trying to give Ladia his first loss of the match. Trading here, queen takes. I assume. Either queen takes or knight takes. Your only other option would be king e7, the delayed bond cloud. I don't know if Ladia has learned this advanced theory yet. Yeah, they didn't do that. So they take with the queen first. Now in the second capture, they take with the king. So they're opting not to castle. They want to leave the knight developed. They don't want to underdevelop. With the queens off the board, the king will be fine in the center. A lot less chances for attacking without the queens. Trying to code a chess website on my stream. Thanks for advertising your channel. Are you in college? Are you a college student? If any collegiate chess league player streams, I will give them a shout out in the chat. We got some Shark Tank stuff going on in the chat. What percent are we talking? Does your chess website allow for college chess players to compete? All right, looks like we've traded the dark square bishops, and now the queen is invading this king's personal space. All in. Attacking the knight. The knight is currently undefended. Knight here will defend the knight. Pawn push will defend the knight. A knight move will also defend the knight, unless it goes here. All right, buddy. You you can't just keep saying that. Say something new. First time was like, okay, called you out on it. Second time, unacceptable. We all saw it the first time. If anyone out there is interested in learning how to stream, don't try to advertise your own stream in other people's chats. That is against Twitch etiquette. People will look down on you for that. That's not the kind of viewership that you want to get. So queen comes out with check, but also defends the knight. I think Cree rules probably tried to defend the knight this way, and it just so happened to be check. You know, because if they really wanted to just check the king, they probably would have gone to b6. I'm joking, of course. Obviously, Cree rules knows what they're doing. So if pawn takes, I expect knight takes with tempo on the queen. So this knight is hopping in, opening up the bishop to help defend e4. This move also just kind of boxes out this knight. So there's no like knight d7 with tempo on the queen. Josiah is 0 for 2. He's the only Berkeley player without a point. He's looking to change that here up against his easiest opponent of the match, the board 4 from Austin. What's up, Ubby? You want Cal to win? Repping the UC schools instead of the UT schools? Here we got Fibrinogen. Bishop in the corner. White with the center. Berkeley getting a one-time fan in Ubby tonight. Ubby's true royalty lies with the Bruins. Here we got Docky versus Dragon. So both of these players are undefeated so far. Ubby, a former captain and player, registering the San Diego State University Chess Club for a season, our very first season. Giving a very admirable effort. They have since not enrolled back in our program, as they're sorely missing Ubby's leadership. All right, so a lot of potential trades here offered on G3. No trades were made. No trades. This knight defends the pawn, but the knight does hit the queen. And the queen is completely hanging. So either you will take the knight or you will move the queen. Or you will take the bishop. But probably you don't want to do that. Probably you either take or you move. But these are the main options here. What's best? I couldn't tell you. That's why these guys are the ones playing the game. They're gonna figure it out for us. They're both FIDE masters. They've played a couple games of chess. They know. They put the knight here with the reason, with the purpose. And Docky knows this. The odds of him Botez gambiting are very slim. Very low. Queen here doesn't threaten checkmate, but it looks like it does. The knight defends it, but the knight is susceptible to a bishop attack. So do we want to take this knight with our bishop? Probably queen here. There's going to be some like pawn move attacking. Ubby went to UCLA. He was the former president of the club. Now he's moved on to continue his studies of the world at San Diego. We have G6 attacking the knight. The knight has never felt pressure like this before. Now we can take on D6, which frees up the G3 square for our knight, if our knight so chooses. But no, the knight refuses to retreat. Only forwards. Oh, knight fork, winning the exchange. Docky with the tactics. Josiah still 0 for 2. He's up against Cree Rules, the bottom board, also 0 for 2. So one of these two players will emerge with their first points of the match. Who will it be? The 2600 International Master or Cree Rules, whose name is Dang Nguyen. Looks like this queen's still all up in Cree Rules space. Hello, Hawkfather. Yeah, Cal is undefeated. No end in sight. This is checkmate in one move. If black grabs this free pawn on C2, the game will end immediately. Assuming white sees it. Alright, we have H5. This creates space for the king on H7. Alright. How's Rui Feng doing against Ladia? Will Rui Feng hand Ladia the first loss of the match? Rui Feng, though, only 9 seconds? You got 9 seconds to play the rest of this game out. Ladia's got a minute. Over a minute. Black has better king activity, but white is the side with the pass pawn. Grabbing here. Rook here, hitting these guys. Rook here, perhaps. And now pawn push, saving itself. So now white actually has 2 pass pawns. 2 of them. Is A4 move. It apparently is. Doesn't care about A4. Continuing the push. Rook comes here with check. Rook here. You could take this guy. Take this guy. Now you can go here. King moves. We go all the way back. Yep. And now this guy's going to fall. You want to save this? This is just a draw. This is a dead draw. The king is going to be able to catch this guy. So probably black will take this. And then white will not take back, as that is immediately drawn. White's going to try to fight on. Put the rook somewhere here, here. Get behind. Oh, they trade. Okay. No, it's just a dead draw. All right. Oh. Oh. Gonna flag him? No. All right. Cree Rules down to 3 seconds. 2, 1. Nope. 4 seconds. That's hanging. They took here. White's up a piece. Josiah is looking to get their first point. So Rui Feng, 1.5. Ladia at 2.5. Looks like Josiah should win this one. How's Docky doing against the top board? It looks like we got a queen trade. Play the school anthem. If Berkeley wins, I'll tell the whole world that this is bear territory. Oh, sacrifice on f6. King takes, pawn takes. That's defended by the bishop. If king here... Yeah, I don't know. I guess rook here or something. Capture. So Docky is up a piece for a pawn. How's Fabrigin doing against Guillermo? Guillermo also no points yet. Trying to get something, but look at this terrible bishop. So sad. Although perhaps black can take it. No, knight hits the queen. Queen comes with check. Perhaps, Ubby. Perhaps. Queen here just to defend the c3 pawn. Black has to hold on to this pawn. This pawn is its most valuable possession. Cal has never won the Collegiate Chess League. The Collegiate Chess League in its first season, the champion was Slew. Second season, Slew dropped out. So then Berkeley was in second place behind Mizzou. Mizzou was just eliminated earlier today by U Chicago. So this will be the first season that Slew doesn't make the finals. They didn't even make the semifinals. We go bishop to b2. Yeah. Problem is, though, yeah, capture, capture. Whoops. There goes our bishop. There goes our king, probably. I thought queen c8 was pretty good, but this also looks pretty good. Promote. Block. Knight takes or queen takes. Either should be winning. Knight hits the queen. Knight discovery. Takes, takes. And there goes your queen. Queen d8 would be the last try there. I would play queen d8 just cuz, you know, what if white pre-move knight takes queen? And then, hey, you got a free queen. So, you never know. Okay, so Josiah won their first game. Docky and Dragon both drew as well. So they're at 2.5 each. And now we have one game. No, Fabrigin won. All right, so they're up to 8 now. 8-4. We have one round left unless UT Austin sweeps the final round, which is seemingly unlikely. A UTA Austin. They have to sweep, Brent. They got one round left to force overtime. Berkeley just needs a draw, and they will move on to the semifinals where they are guaranteed a top 4 finish along with $1,000 minimum. I haven't updated the brackets, and for that I apologize. I'm going to do that after this stream. Maybe I'll do it on stream. Maybe we can talk to one of the Berkeley or Austin players in a post-match interview. How's that sound to you guys? You guys like that idea? I love the post-match interviews. I would love to talk to Josiah on stream. Ask him what inspired him to go 1 out of 3 in the first half of the match. And yet still win the match. Very important. I'll ask his club what they intend to do with the money they just won. Yeah, that's, hey. Josiah, what inspired you to lose your game against Rui Feng Li in round 2 of the quarterfinals of season 3 division 1? Josiah, since he's what would you do if I asked him that immediately? I inspired myself. I'm gonna do props, man. Hey, some people need that kind of inspiration. The inner inspiration. The respirate. No. Okay. Back to the chess. Josiah got his first win in the last round. Now he's playing against Guillermo, the bottom board. No, not the bottom board. The third board. Excuse me. He only beat Cree rules. Now this is the 4th round. Looks like we've got an early draw offer from Ladia asking the captain of UT Austin if he is willing to accept defeat on behalf of his team. Doggy says, no, I think I'll play on. Docky says, I'm playing for a win. I know this is a must-win match, as I have really good team awareness, match awareness. I understand what's at stake here. I will not go quietly into that good night. I will fight tooth and nail until we are done and eliminated. Docky's attacking the b2 pawn. How will white defend? They play rook to c2. Docky trading a pair of rooks. He has an isolated e-pawn, but he has the open d-file. An invaluable asset in the game of chess. Okay, knight probably going to e4. This is an outpost square on a light square. Docky puts his bishop on d4. This is also an outpost square. Rook, some pressure on the bishop. We've got the double outpost. Look at these pieces. It's the yin and yang on the board. One piece, a bishop. The other, a knight. One white, one black. One on a dark square. This one was on a light square. They've broken the balance. Now they're fighting. The knight wanted to take the bishop, but the bishop is only being supported further by its pawn allies. The king tries to attack, yet the best it can do is touch the bishop face to face, but not harmingly, peacefully, embracing each other. I need to stop. Somebody stop me. All right, we're gonna look at Guillermo's game versus Josiah. We have both sides, castle, king side, queen out, threatening checkmate on g2. Luckily, Guillermo saw this, defending with the bishop, spoiling Josiah's plans. Josiah has to improvise. He plays bishop to d5, tempo on the queen. I'm glad you think so. All right, so queen sidesteps the bishop's attack, perhaps preparing an attack of their own on the queen with the knight. The knight dare not touch the f3 square, as that will be a free piece, since this g-pawn rendered useless by the pin of the queen on the king. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So pawn comes out to f5, saying, you shall not pass e5. No, e4. So no knight e4 move. Perhaps rook to c7. No, I was perhaps a bit too ambitious with this idea. I'll tone it back. Swanks, good to see you. Okay, knight c4. The explosive square, perhaps trying to get to e5. Josiah has a slight time advantage. Position's relatively even. Guillermo still looking for their first point. It's now or never. This is the round 4 match. If Guillermo fails to get a whole point, anything less, anything shy of a victory here, his team faces elimination. No more matches until next season. A lot of pressure on Guillermo. Same with free rules up against Fabrinigan. Fabrinigan with a minute advantage, attacking the dark square bishop with the knight. This bishop is very important. I guess the queen's also defending c5, but I like to make the pieces feel valuable, you know? Every piece plays a purpose. Pre-roll's really thinking about what to do with this. Do I save it? Do I defend? Do I move it? Do I stare at it? If knight takes, pawn takes, and these pawns are doubled and isolated, They're not working harmoniously together. So probably bishop c1, honestly. You don't want to block the rook. I honestly don't think bishop c1's that bad a move. So the bishop c1 has been played. Now this knight no longer attacking the bishop, staring into what once was. This costs Cree rules like over a minute on their clock. So for Brennigan now, just under 3 minutes, still decent time advantage, over double their opponent's clock. This knight probably going to get kicked. So the knight retreats preemptively in anticipation of h3, which honestly is still a good move for white, just creating a flight square for the king prophylactically in anticipation of potential back rank danger in the future. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, h3 on the board. The knight from g4 making it all the way back, once harassing the bishop that's now on c1, now harassing the knight that's on b6. The bishop springs back to e3 from whence it came to offer more support to its long-distance ally on b6, supporting the troops behind enemy lines. Cal has this. You think they can get a draw at least in one of these remaining 4 games? I don't know. Let's see if Docky has anything to say about that. The knight and the rook combined together attacking e5, only defended by the bishop. However, after bishop takes, this unleashes a deadly rook discovery attack on the king. The king in fear runs away. Also defending the b2 pawn. Oh! Wait, oh, I didn't... That was not the player's move. I apologize. That was me. As you can see, Docky's clock is still ticking. That was not a move played on. I thought there was some tactic that I had missed, but I kid you not, my idea was bishop takes, king takes, rook with the fork on the rook and the king, winning an exchange, but I apologize. I'll try not to click the pieces. Again, I'm just a commentator here. I'm not a player. I'll leave the chess playing to the actual players. Let's check on Josiah again. How his position has changed since last we saw. King to the corner. This bishop has no legal moves, as it is covered by its own pieces. This bishop, beautifully placed on the main diagonal. The white rooks, though, on completely open files. Black rooks staring down at this king side. Both players with really decent piece activity. What's up, Swole19? How's it going to my favorite Bughouse partner? You don't do a bracket of all the Division 1. What do you mean? I have you guys losing this. I'm sorry, Brent. It was nothing personal. Okay, g3 attacking the queen, but not really. Queen takes f4, attacking the rook. Ooh, bishop here. Forgot about the rook. Guillermo gonna lose this one. And with that, Josiah clinching the dub for UC Berkeley, guaranteeing them a spot in the semifinals. They will play again next weekend against U Chicago for a spot in the finals. What's up, Nose? How's it going? I'm excited for this week's round. In Bughouse or in Collegiate Chess League or both? UC Chicago. What's up, Marks Lee? Thanks for the follow. Bughouse, yes. Both, exactly. Sammy's a big fan of the chess league that I've created. Sacred Heart winning it all. Bold prediction, but I respect it. How's Docky doing? Docky's attacking the knight. This knight, where does it go? E7 is its new home. Perhaps to F5, where it will attack black's pieces. Both players at 40 seconds or less now. Oh, we had a lot of results come in. Rui Feng beat no, Roland Feng beat Rui Feng. Dang, I just now realized they both have Feng in their name, and we missed the Battle of the Fangs, where Roland Feng came out on top. For Brinogen beat Kree Rules, so Kree Rules unable to find the final board point. Actually, if Ladia wins this game, Berkeley would have swept the fourth round. However, Daki has something to say about this. Daki Lin here, one of the arbiters for the Bughouse Chess Championship. He's the favorite arbiter. Exactly, Swole. That's what I'm getting at. These players, they have such extraordinary lives. Like, obviously, they're big collegiate chess league players, right? And that consumes most of their time. Like, they're trying their best to perform at a high level here in competitive chess for their schools. They also are arbiters for the Bughouse Championship, such as Daki here. So very, very busy lives these players lead. Ruin, thanks for the follow. That's a huge, huge follow there. I once again lost connection in my game. I'm so sorry, Sky Dragon. That is unfortunate. Okay, this is looking to be a draw, but look at this rook. It's so beautiful. Oh, well, now the rook has been employed gainfully to capture to defend against the promotion of the pawn. Okay, but yes, this should be a draw. The players will agree to a draw here, and Berkeley will not actually have swept UT Austin. But they got enough points that they needed. So Ladia here finishing the day at 3 out of 4. Daki as well. So neither player has lost a game. Dragon won 3 games and only drew 1. So yeah, overall 11.5, 4.5. UC Berkeley, U Chicago next weekend, Saturday, semifinals. Be there or be square. We'll ask maybe Josiah if he wants to hop in an interview. Let me ask him real quick. We got a couple of GGs in the chat from the players. Congrats again to Berkeley. UT Austin, good season to make it this far. Hopefully they'll be back bigger and stronger next time. All right, Josiah is saying he's ready for the interview. We're going to send him a call. We're going to plug him in directly to the live stream and ask him the hard-hitting questions. What's up, Josiah?
Hey, what's up?
So first and foremost, congratulations on your victory. And good luck to you guys in the semifinals. You will be playing U Chicago.
Yeah, I saw that they had a. I mean, I don't know if it's a big upset, but for sure upset over Mizzou.
So you guys have played both of those teams in the regular season, and you guys are undefeated. You've beaten them both. I know that probably a lot of people were expecting Mizzou to move on. Were you guys kind of preparing for that match already, or were you just focused on beating UT Austin first?
I mean, we've mostly been taking a match at a time. We kind of had looked at the standings, and knew we were gonna play U Chicago or Mizzou. I mean, we're just gonna take it a match at a time. And now that we're playing U Chicago, we'll get ready for that match, and hopefully move on to the finals.
So with this win, you guys are guaranteed to play at least 2 more matches, because even if you lose the finals, you will, or lose in the semifinals, you'll play the 3rd and 4th place match, and even if you lose that one, you'll at least place 4th place. So with this, you've guaranteed your team at least $1,000. Do you think that, like, what do you plan on using that money for in terms of club funding?
We haven't exactly discussed it yet. With I'm on the board with actually Roland as well. But I think either Pan Am's. We're considering sending a few teams to Pan Am's potentially, which is in Virginia this year. This is our A team, so if we were to go to Pan Am's, this would potentially be our A team. But if not, then just the normal boards, sets, clocks, and yeah, just the normal ideal for chess clubs at Berkeley.
That's really cool. I know Pan Am's can be expensive to go to, especially for a West Coast team that has to travel all the way to the East Coast. Do you think that would cover like a significant chunk of it?
When we get that 5,000, I think it will.
So we're seeing some confidence from Berkeley, which is good. I mean, you guys made it to the semifinals last year, and you were only stopped by Mizzou. Obviously, a lot of other teams have joined and have gotten better. Um, I know on the other side of the bracket, in the semifinals, we'll see Warsaw versus Yale. Warsaw is a completely new team to the league, so what do you have to say about like the growth of the league, and is it exciting to be able to potentially play against schools from even other countries?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I was playing also last season when it was just mostly U.S. dominated, and yeah, we lost to Mizzou last year in the semifinals against the same exact team that they fielded this year. It's great to see the CCL get bigger and then also be sponsored by Chess.com. The prize fund is also amazing, and hopefully incentivizes even the top schools to also join.
Awesome. So I guess last question I have, and I'll let you go. You guys seem to have a lot of fans in the chat, maybe a couple Berkeley players on other teams or lower teams, or just fans in general, alumni even. Do you have anything to say to them or your teammates?
Yeah, thank you for showing up. I mean, Berkeley, we have a great community of the chess club. Our Discord's been popping. We just started in person club meetings, like I believe it was last week. So it's been amazing seeing everyone come out, and we fielded 6 teams this year, and everyone was really enthusiastic about CCL. Um, so it was great. Go Bears!
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Josiah, and we'll see you guys play again next week. And best of luck to you and your team.
All right, thank you, Joe. All
Take
right, see
care.
ya. You too.
All right, so that was Josiah Stearman, the International Master Board 3 from UC Berkeley's A team, as well as their team captain.